Alrighty, welcome back to another video. Yes, sir, yes. Alright, I'm so excited because it's the first of the month and we're gonna get started, kick off this month, right? So I'm gonna try and be more consistent. I haven't been posting for like 3 weeks. I got so many stuff going on, but regardless, I'm here. Alright, so we're gonna watch this video of El Mencho. What's the main reason why he really got caught? Right? Excuse me. What I see the headline is basically a girl like actually let him get caught. So probably it's a woman that's let him get caught. So let's see what it's talking about. Let's see what's going on right here. This guy always breaking down some good videos still. So yeah, I hope he breaks down this one so that I could understand and know what's the main reason that he got caught and everything. I didn't know a guy like this exists, but you heard it right here.
Violent cartels in modern history. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, aka El Mencho. And you see, El Mencho was no ordinary cartel boss. Let me put it to you like this. His group...
Is that for real? Reward of up to 10 million USD. That's crazy.
The CJNG was worth $50 billion. Do you know how much crime you gotta do to make $50 billion? So the United States and Mexico had a problem. They got together. They said, now El Mencho doing too much. The United States said, so Mexico, let us know what he be doing down there. Mexico said, well, for starters, he be selling that stuff. The United States said, well, of course. Where he be coming though? Texas, California, Mexico said, no, he be selling all over the world. He be in Africa, he be in China, he worldwide with it. United States
China.
Said, $50 billion. Yeah, that makes sense. Mexico said, yeah, and don't get mad. But he also be stealing oil. The United States said, what y'all need to see?
Oh, that's why. So he overstepped some boundaries. That's why he be heavy on the radar. Oil? That's one of the most powerful resources in the world. They're going to clap down on that guy, of course. Definitely.
The FBI, we got to put aside our differences. The United States and Mexico locked in. But CIA, this CIA, that, El Mencho was not going to be easy to capture because you're not listening. I said $50 billion. This man basically had his own private military. They even got their names on their uniform. They weren't hiding about it. I got to blur out half this picture. That man had an RPG. Oh, and they weren't afraid to use their... too. In fact, that's what makes it so tough to take out cartel bosses because of retaliation. It's basically the threat of you mess with us, we burning it all down. But that does not mean Mexico has not been trying. They've been trying for many, many years to capture El Mencho. But every time Mexico ups it, El Mencho doubles it. They sent the police after El Mencho. They caught one of his people. El Mencho said, okay, then we're going to catch the police. So El Mencho's group, the CJNG, were blocking roads and police officers. The Mexican government said, okay, so we're going to send the army. El Mencho said, bet, I'm going to send the army too. It's just going to be my army. El Mencho started rocket launching army helicopters out the sky.
Yo, you can tell El Mencho is making a lot of money. Didn't you just see the guns, the artillery, and everything? That's crazy.
I said, damn, how about we try this our way? You see, if there's one thing you got to know about the United States is it prides itself in gathering intelligence. And what that looks like a lot of times is finding out a target's weakness. In El Mencho's case, it was a woman. Now, people aren't exactly sure if it's this woman, but you get the point. So the United States CIA said, look, he got a girl, let's follow her around. And here's where things start to get wicked. They start following her around. She go to the store, they go to the store. She go to the laundromat, they go to the laundromat. She go and visit El Mencho. They go and visit El Mencho. A place in Mexico called Tapalpa. They said, Tapalpa? Ain't nothing in Tapalpa.
So basically, they just following her to get to him. So she slip up many of times, right? She slip up many of times. And he loved, like, a girl would be the downfall of many men. Remember that.
Or is there? So they gather up the whole crew. They gather up the army. They gather up the police force, and they start rolling deep. It was off to Tapalpa, but the roads started getting blocked and all that. They said, we getting close. More roads blocked by burning cars. The CJNG was trying to slow down the Mexican forces. But not this time. The Mexican forces blitzed through and found El Mencho in a compound with his army. And a firefight ensued. It was like a scene out of a movie. Explosions, RPGs going off, army versus army. Eventually, when the dust settled, the Mexican army took El Mencho into custody. But he had a lot of injuries, and as they were trying to transfer him, he got from his injuries. And well, as the Mexican government feared, the CJNG said, well, you mess with us, we're burning it down. So the CJNG went on a spree of burning down cars, blocking roads, just causing chaos in Mexico. 25 Mexican National Guard members were. Yeah, the retaliation was real. But Mexico, as always, continues to stand strong and is putting up a hard fight against cartels. As for El Mencho's legacy, the CJNG, his cartel group, people are worried about the power.
Yeah, and what's crazy, they may take out El Mencho, but there's some kid out there, there's someone else out there that's inspired by this guy and want to be like this guy. So, it's always a cycle. You know, you got El Chapo, you have those other guys and everything, but you just keep on going because the cycle has never stopped, man.
Vacuum that has now arisen since El Mencho was. People have no idea who's gonna take over where. El Mencho's son,
that's what I'm
who
saying,
would have been a favorite to take over, is actually in custody by the United States. The Mexican government captured him a few years back and sent him to the U.S. So that leaves El Mencho's inner circle and close family. People are worried that a couple people are gonna go at it, because remember, $50 billion is what El Mencho's group was worth. When you're talking about $50 billion, yeah, people are going to be very desperate to try to lead that organization. I want you to take a look at this map. It shows how much influence El Mencho's group, the CJNG, had. Let me show you a quick, easy way to read this map. You see this little gray space right here? That's the only part of Mexico that the CJNG didn't have influence over. Everywhere else in this map basically means their territory. And remember, their influence is also worldwide. Africa, China. I saw a shirt that said CJNG for Africa. Like, their organization was an organization. They made t-shirts. You see, really what I'm trying to have you understand is somebody's going to want to take over that group. And if there's a war within the CJNG to take over that group, it can get really, really violent. Remember, they have military arms. But there's something else that made the CJNG dangerous. It's the fact that El Mencho was a centralized leader. El Mencho basically held all of the power in his cartel, and that could be a very dangerous thing. Basically, it's kind of like this. A lot of people may know the name El Chapo, who is the leader of the Sinaloa Cartel. In El Chapo's case, in the Sinaloa Cartel, it was like a federation. There were so many powerful families under the Sinaloa Cartel. When El Chapo was taken down, the Sinaloa Cartel basically split into these different families. You see, under a federation, if things split, things can split. It's like if the United States, for some reason, decides to split into 50 states, everyone will just go their own way. But in El Mencho's case, he was basically like the king of his cartel. That means winner takes all. Whoever leads that cartel has everything. There ain't no powerful factions. The king rules the country, the king rules the country. It don't split. But to make matters worse, let's say for some reason, even if El Mencho's group, the CJNG, disappears, that's going to leave a power vacuum in itself. So other cartel groups that are still in Mexico are going to want that number one spot as well. So much money is made with people selling.
Yeah, what I think personally, remember, we don't have all the details. We just speaking of assumptions are based off how other persons were doing. Probably there was someone else set up, because these guys, they're smart, bro. You can't have so much money hanging away that you don't have someone else that's going to replace you after. If anything happens, the possibilities, right? That's how they run their thing, all right? So I think the El Mencho probably have someone in line already trying to set up something, right? Because, what, 10 billion? That's a lot of money. That's more. That's like an organization, but I think the reason why they really camped down on him, as he just mentioned, is the oil. The oil, bro. If he was just doing just the coke and everything, they probably wouldn't make any that much effort to get to him. But the oil money,
and that stuff, it always seems like there is a group that pops in every few years that takes over the entire landscape. Basically, as long as there's a massive amount of money to be made, there's always going to be somebody out there that wants to make that money. So it's just a very, very tough situation when it comes to cartels and Mexico. So people are keeping a very close eye on the CJNG and seeing how the power divides amongst them. But either way, I hope the best for the citizens of Mexico and hope this problem
this problem can be really solved and get over. We should be out of these days already, bro. But there's so much money to get around. Someone is gonna try their utmost best to try to take that spot and to reach that next level. But nevertheless, it's your boy Andrae AP, and we're signing out. Alright, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and check out my website, my personal business AP Tours. Alright.